Yeah, joining me right before sunset. And he brought the Likutey Moharan to speak about little Torah from Rabbi Nachman. The Incus is here to lift us up, lift up the Torah, and lift us all up in our hearts, in our souls, to know Hashem, and to understand this Torah. Likutey Moharan 195, B'tzar Yirchavto Li. In my distress, you relieved me, it says in the Psalms. Let's just go right to the English, so we can play some music. That is, even in distress itself, Hashem provides us with relief. For a person considers Hashem's kindness, he will see that even while Hashem causes him distress, also within the distress itself, Hashem provides him with relief and increases his kindness to him. This is an explanation. In my distress, you relieved me. Even in the midst of the stress itself, you provide me with relief from within it. Not only do we look to Hashem to speedily save us from all distress and provide us with great good, but also even within the distress itself, we look to Him to provide us with relief. So this is a very, very special Torah. You know, a lot of us, at one point or another, we have something which is distressful. Sometimes it's only really in our heads. Sometimes it's very real. And if we search a little bit deeper, if we, instead of having a panic attack, instead of becoming depressed, if instead we search deeper into the pain itself, we start to see that even in this pain, that Hashem is giving us relief. He's sustaining us. He's making it easier than it really could be. He's providing us with friends that can support us, family that can support us. Maybe at the same time we have just enough money in our pocket to take care of the things we need so we can handle that distress. Or we have to find the right people, the right doctor, the right rabbi, whatever it is. But but we have to start looking. When we start to look in the pain itself, and we look for the good points in that pain and how Hashem is there sustaining us, then the distress becomes easier because Hashem is within it, and you found Hashem, which is the purpose of all suffering, of all difficulties, is really just to know Hashem and to remind ourselves of Hashem. If a person knows Hashem very well, then they don't usually suffer as much, or they don't even notice the suffering because everything is relief once Hashem is within the picture and you bring him where he needs to be. Now you read something about Abba Shaul. You wanted to share with us.
Well, on the back of this, Rabbi Moshe, I like to say the very problems themselves can become our best friends. Within the problem itself, that provides the actual friendship that we have, but we can't do it straight away. We have to do it a little bit after the problem within. So within the problem itself, it's very, very difficult to fight the actual feeling of pain. Once it's gone and we look back, then we start to realize that those very problems themselves, they become our best friends in the end. But we really have to do the work afterwards to find it. So I think connect with that Torah. It's very worthwhile.
There's another Torah that says that if a person is going through a difficulty and they fight that difficulty, they fight that problem, that, look, I don't want this difficulty, this problem with my alternator that the car shouldn't start, and they fight and fight. No, I'm not going to take it to the shop. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take care of it right. You know, I'm gonna keep jumping the car. I'm gonna get I'm gonna put a second battery in the trunk, and or whatever it is. If you keep fighting, if you fight the stress, sometimes you fight the difficulty, you become deeper in it. But as soon as you accept the suffering, then Hashem sends the relief, and that suffering becomes removed because you found Hashem. That was the purpose of everything, was just to know Hashem, because we didn't know Hashem before.
You've come into the proverbial swamp, and the more you fight it, the deeper you get.
You're from Australia, so you should know about swamps.
Have to go very far out to find a swamp in Australia, but there I believe.
Some education here that Australia has the most dangerous and poisonous and deadly creatures in the entire world.
Spiders.
I didn't know that.
Snakes. And of course, don't forget those nice friendly sharks out there.
So he thinks I brought him here for the music, but I brought him here to protect me from the wild creatures in Israel. You know, Israel has their own share of, no one talks about it, but we got the scorpions.
There might be something crawling, just
But this is also to remind us that even, when we can be in the holiest place in the world, but we got to remember, that Hashem is in control of everything that's going on, and you can't fear, you didn't fear when you lived in Australia that of these big tarantulas and creatures.
The only way we fought them was with education. We had little posters signed everywhere saying,
you memorize all the pictures.
Yeah, the picture.
By 3, they know all the pictures.
This one you should do a
In America, they learn ABC. In Israel, they learn Aleph base, but Australia, they just learn their pictures.
This one's
very bad. Very, very, very bad.
Stay away
Run!
from this one. But this one is okay. This can be your friend. We're here by Abba Shaul. Abba Shaul was, we've already learnt in...
Can I ask you one favor?
Yes.
I'm feeling you're overtowering me with your great height. Can you just step down there one step so I can feel like a human being here?
If we can, well, it's funny she said that because Abba Shaul, that's a great connection because they say at Abba Shaul, he was very, very tall.
Right, he was a big guy.
And very, very tall.
I forgot, was he up to Adam's knee? Was that what it says?
It said it was amongst the side of another ton of shoulders who was also known to be very, very, very tall himself. He stood actually. He said of himself that he was very tall. Mm. So he had a very.
Abba Shaul, pray for me. Pray for me. I want to be 6 foot.
But then we can't help the people down below. See, God created the tall ones to help the ones above, and the little ones.
They wouldn't put me on the team.
So another wonderful story about Abba Shaul was that, or actually one of his Torahs, which can be found in the Gemara in the Masechet of Shabbat. They used the Tanaim were given a very special gift because they were on a very, very, very high level. High level, low level. I can talk down here if you want.
That's good.
And the Tanaim were given a special gift. They could take any pasuk, any verse in the Torah, and they could understand it in a very unique, special way. And only they were given license to do this. The Tanaim were honest that they could take a verse and they could, what they call in the yeshiva world darshan, they could examine it and understand it, and in a special way, learn it in a totally brand new way that you wouldn't have ever thought of.
The rabbis from the Talmud. Yeah.
The rabbis from the Talmud, the Tanaim, the first generation rabbis, who we read about in
and the
Talmud.
Amara come after.
The second generation, yeah. Correct.
What's third?
Third generation, you're already in the Rishonim. After there's only the Tanaim and the Moharan, and after that there is no more in the Gemara.
And when was the first banjo player?
First ever?
Yeah, the ton of banjos.
This is it. You're looking at it. We're first generation here.
All right, so we were just sitting here preparing for this, and you wrote a song on this.
I wrote look, I was very inspired by the moment. This is a verse which we find we read it every day in Siddur, in the Song of the Sea, which they sang when the sea split. And one of the verses in that was, in Hebrew, Ze keli v'anvehu. Ze keli v'anvehu. That means, this is my God, Ze keli v'anvehu, and I will glorify him, and I will make him good. And we usually use this verse to mean that when we do a mitzvah, we're going to make it beautiful. God is great. He gets into beauty, very much into beauty. And so when we do a mitzvah, we make it nice, very nice, special. Like, for instance, when we take the mitzvah of the etrog, the special fruit that we use in Sukkot, we've got to make a very, very nice one. So he took that pasuk, that verse, Ze keli anvehu, and he took it in a different way. Ze keli, this is my God, v'anvehu. What did he understand v'anvehu? He took that and he split the word into anvehu, and he turned it into ani v'hu. And what did he mean by that? Me and him. Me and the one above. Ze keli, this is my God, v'anvehu, me and him. In other words, Mahu in the Hebrew, in the Gemara it says, Mahu chanu v'rachum, just like he is compassionate and mercy, af yihiyeh, so to you should be chanu v'rachum.
Be compassionate, let me get in a word here too.
That's the idea. That's the idea. So
let's take this upstairs though. It's such a beautiful, we gotta sit up top.
Ah, let's go
then. Let's go upstairs.
La la la